5 to 10.
Like Thursday and Friday, we were supposed to have rain.
Yeah.
We didn't get any. What's up, guys? We're going to live stream. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, not TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. There we go.
Insta-wham.
What's up? You guys on Instagram, we're going to go live. There's a massive delay over on Instagram for some reason. All right, guys, if you're on Instagram and you are seeing hearing this, we cannot see your comments for some reason. So jump over onto YouTube if you want to participate here. Got a couple pieces of gear we're going to give away here somewhere. You're going to have to be a Patreon member to be able to win that. We typically do those off of your comments, the comments we like the best, or who gives us the most to discuss or has the most meaningful conversation. So if you want to be a winner, you have to participate, and you also have to be a Patreon member because that's where we can actually speak to you guys. Loftus, what's up, buddy? How are you? We will zoom in here. Landfill, what's going on? Cameron, how are you? YouTube, yeah, YouTube does work. It just simply works. Iridium Group, what's up, buddy? You still over in Oklahoma? Hardway, Alaska. What's going on, man? Man, I'm hearing a shit ton of static here.
Is it static or is it him opening his wrapper?
No, it's static through my headphones. And I'm not moving. I've got nothing going on here. I don't know why it's literally when she picked her phone up.
Hold on, I'm just posting on the thingamajig.
Oh, they say they hear it too. Are you in Paris, Tennessee?
There we go.
I am not in Paris. I am very close to Paris. Paris is about 30 minutes from here. That's where we go eat dinner when we leave here. Yeah, Hardway, Alaska said he heard it too. It stopped. John, I got the membership renewed through the laptop. So that's what it is, guys. When you're in the app on YouTube, a lot of times if you're on an Apple phone, YouTube or Google, who owns YouTube, told Apple, hey, we want access to something. And Apple said, you guys can piss off. So there's some issue there. So if you have issues getting your renewals through YouTube or whatever, the fix is that you have to go to a laptop, but you can also use the browser. Just go to the browser and don't use the app, and that seems to be fixing the issue. Whether it's our channel or any channel, if you have some kind of problem where it doesn't seem to work, it's the app. It's not because of you. I paid for a freeze dryer by selling candy per your suggestion. Now that some of those full events are rolling back around, people want more candy. Now I pay for Christmas vacation with it. Yeah, it absolutely works, man. And as you know, you will run candy for 24. What is it? 24 hours typically?
Yeah. No, not even.
When we do chicken and beef and stuff, it's up to 3 days a lot of times. Cheese and shit like that. Buy you another freeze dryer, man.
Candy, I only run candy about 6 hours.
Traveled all day yesterday, road trip, and 3 airplanes home. Fucking wild, man. And now you're going to be sick.
Get some rest, man.
Yeah.
Take some oregano oil.
Radio says they are in Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Guys, if you're not aware, there's a Radio Made Easy kit going sale bundle. There are 3 levels of that. You can see Wrangler Star. I don't know if it's shared to Radio's page or not. I'm sure that if you go to his Instagram, you'll see the information there as well. But if you watch the Wrangler Star videos, worth watching. Absolutely. A lot of good info, even if you're not a buying customer. A lot of info in there. You should listen to those. There's 2 or 3 of those videos there, and you should definitely check them out. If you want to see some super funny shit, Wrangler Star had a bunch of people that were very, very angry that Evan had a bag for sale that cost $450. Well worth digging and reading through those comments in there. Just keep in mind, those are people, all of them who say, man, I don't know why we can't manufacture in the United States. They're always pissing and moaning about problems, but you have a man who was a Marine who has built a product and he feeds his family with this, and he literally has a finite amount of capacity, and they are very, very angry that Evan is offering his bag for sale. And Wrangler Star made a very short 3-minute video kind of blasting and talking. He's like, you guys are the problem that is wrong with the world that we complain about. And it's very eye-opening to see that. It's very fucking wild. Oregano oil for sinus infection. Absolutely. Yep. Every time we have people coming into town, um, my throat will get scratchy when we have hundreds of people here, and I'll just start taking the oregano oil, and it really almost always fixes it.
It's in stock too right now, by the way.
We have it available, super infused. Uh, Ready to go to a trade show in Vegas. Need to leave the house at 2 a.m. on Sunday. As always, SW toiletry bags and boot bags will be in my suitcase. Well, thank you for including us. What kind of trade show you doing, man? There's always like, if you're ever in Vegas, just look to see what trade shows are in town because you have no idea. You want to see some cool trade shows? The fire trade show for the firemen and stuff, and the concrete and the big construction equipment are three super awesome trade shows.
Taco Bell.
I haven't been to Taco Bell in years, man.
Taco Bell?
Jaeger went to Taco Bell a couple years ago, right before uh, he passed, and he had said he went there to get something for one of the guys at the shop. Somebody had asked for something, so James went. That's just how James was, man. He would just go get shit for people. Um, and when he got there, there's this chick running around. She's kind of in a panic and shit. And he goes, "Why are you the only one here?" She goes, "Yep. There's supposed to be four other people. I'm the only one that showed up. I've been running the entire shop by myself at 6 a.m." And that's how a ton of shit is. Yeah, I don't go to Taco Bell, man. I have no problem with you going to Taco Bell. Those are life decisions, man. You do that.
I love me a Crunchwrap Supreme with no sour cream.
I feel like it's all fake. There is nothing of nutritional value in any of that shit. My hamburger for fast food, every 6 months or so, is a double Whopper cheese and bacon. I bought one a month or so ago, $10. And I said, "What did you order?" She goes, "Just the sandwich." I go, "Nothing, no fries, nothing. $10, one fucking hamburger."
Yep.
Concrete show was the same time as SHOT Show. Yep, this year the equipment, the concrete guys, but it was awesome. Yeah, and if you ever get a chance to go to like the farm shows, dude, they have some equipment and harvesting equipment. Like you have no idea how large that is until you're standing next to some of that stuff.
It's like a monster truck.
I work in sales for industrial direct to object printing. Oh, like direct to garment and stuff. That's cool. So do you guys also do like the magic shows and stuff in Vegas? Reuters reported that the US charges employees of Russia RT Network hired an American company to produce content. That's what they're saying, man. That office was man, I had them in my mouth. I said the name today too. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, funny. Um, and they were out of Nashville. And it is said that they paid all these companies to produce content. And Tim Pool said, "We produce zero content. They never asked us to produce content. They paid us for licensing rights to rebroadcast their morning show." And apparently, he's meeting with FBI guys today or sometime. Um, Interesting that they come out and they take some of the four largest, most prevalent seemingly conservative type talk shows, and put them in this pool, right? No proof. They're not naming anybody. They just say, uh, you know, defendant number one or what. They're not naming any names. And the two people they want, we don't know where they are. Nobody knows where they have gone. Can't find them. And now there's warrants out for these two people. Tenet Media is the name of the company.
Russia.
Russia, yeah. And I mean, we saw what happened last time they did the Russia shit. But I think what you're going to see from this is we're going to need some kind of go between. We're going to need to approve your kind of like. I mean, it's just set up for. It's just propaganda. I think signed up for the business. I mean, look at them screaming and yelling this morning that Putin said he's backing Kamala Harris for president. Why wouldn't he? Even if it's a meme or it's a joke, why would he not want a weak fucking president?
Yeah.
I signed up for business YouTube level. I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say. I do commercial HVAC, so I'm curious how I can implement some of the ideas you guys have. Well, Cameron, you got to get on the community post there and ask questions. We went to build a video this morning. There were only 2 questions. We did not build a YouTube video. There's not enough content over there. We did a Patreon video for a little over an hour. There were some questions over there, and We did the video this morning for Patreon. We will do one next week if there's enough. We'll roll this week's into next week, but I can't do it just off 2 questions. Every time we talk about that, people are like, "Yep, a huge amount of value. I should be charging, $100 a week for this." But if there's no questions, I don't have any content to build. So, I mean, I'm thinking maybe we're just not going to do the YouTube over there for John on Demand anymore. That's that's all contingent on what you guys type out. Um, we are not in the DTG space, but we did develop tagless T-shirt printing for Hanes a number of years ago. Our equipment prints on everything from medical parts, like catheters to autoclave. Very cool, man. I know somebody that does engraving for all of the medical instruments for the DoD. Got Mullen.
Pack my homestead. I have Mullen tincture.
Dawn has bronchitis. Dawn Gorham?
Probably.
Or is your wife named Dawn? See that like button, slap it. Yeah, and if you guys are on a device, man, on YouTube, all you have to do is double tap the screen and it'll give a thumbs up there. Good afternoon, John and Amanda. First super kit bag will be delivered today. Tool bag on the way for delivery Monday. Yeah, I have a super kit bag right here. That's what we were going to give away. We're going to let whoever we pick between I don't even know. Let me minimize this and see what you guys actually see here. I've got this in large super kit bag in woodland, and I have a woodland tool bag somewhere here. It doesn't matter. You guys know what it looks like. I was going to let the winner pick between the two. I have this enlarged, which takes the screen down, but it enlarges the text here. You're done. Got it.
Yeah, if you want, I'll decant some for you.
The answer was almost here we go, Lansville, Michigan. In Michigan, the location of fire hydrants is a database now. The insurance companies, customers, if they have a hydrant, yeah, if you want a hydrant put in, dude, it's fucking like $10,000-$15,000. We have a hydrant up the way. I wanted to look at having one put in. I think they quoted us like 20 grand to put that thing over here. The answer was almost always yes. Now the insurance companies are switching customers to a higher rate. Yeah. Insurance rates went up like 65% in California. You have massive insurance companies completely pulling out of California. You also have Walmart came out and said, we're for the people. So we're actually going to lower prices and we're pushing all our vendors to give us lower pricing. And what you're seeing happen right now is Walmart is having less and less brands in the company because when Walmart is pushing them to lower prices, but all the costs of manufacturing, it makes no sense to do business with Walmart anymore. So what you're seeing is they're saying, hey, we're doing this for you. But more in reality, what is happening is they're saying, we are not doing business with Walmart. So when you do business with Walmart, they push you to have a 12-month projection, and they want all this stuff available and they want you to put it in the store. They don't actually pay you. I believe they pay a quarter. At least that's how it was when they were talking to us. They also wanted an RFID tag on every product that came into the store because they have automatic inventory. So they always push and push and push, and you have to deliver their stuff first. And then it comes to the point where they're not paying you. Why would you do business with Walmart? It would literally shut most companies down. It would lock them up to just one concentrated debtor, being Walmart. Am I hearing a razor?
I don't know what it is, but it's here.
General contractor. I work for the Florida, but I was forced to pay to put one in by the county when he built his new building. Yeah, you see that a lot too, man. Guys buy up these old buildings, especially historic buildings, and then what they don't tell you when you go to, when you want to open up your new location or stuff, they make you do all kinds of crazy shit to bring it up to their current code. Y'all have Amazon business account. I keep getting email marketing. I do too. We do not have it. Why do we not use Amazon business?
I don't know.
Yeah, they constantly like, hey, you would have saved this much money. I actually went to order VS17 panels off Amazon, and it would only let me order one. It said this vendor only sells in quantity to business accounts. I'm surprised that's how Walmart works. Yeah, and maybe it doesn't anymore. General contractor I work for. How many cans of paint can that hold? Clever.
You don't want to put paint in
more than
there.
you would want to hold, bro. Um, I would use the tool bag. I mean, or a large tool bag. But I mean, I don't know how many cans you're rolling with.
Does he does he paint for a wall?
Yeah, he's a graffiti artist.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot to that apparently.
Apparently.
I took a kid out to a abandoned building we were doing video in that they were about to demo. So, "Okay, go ahead and paint these things," and he was painting up some shit, and they have all kinds of different tips and all kinds of different like,
Man,
expensive
man,
paints.
when I was a kid, they just used like spray paint from the store and fucking Sharpie markers.
Um, I have another kit bag on order for one in Highlander along with a Highlander shotgun micro. The Highlander micro is what's holding you up. We
No,
probably
they're different orders.
got it, okay. We put the Highlander micro rig on order f is this the
For him.
guy?
Yes.
So the super kits are being made.
Yep.
What else did he say? Highlander multicam black. Man, this product's amazing. Thank you, man. MT Knives, what's up, Patrick? How are you? Seems like they're just trying to kill American companies. Well, they are. I mean, you saw that during all the fucking last few years, you saw that. Why were those companies allowed to stay open with massive amounts of people, but mom and pops were not? Coming from Amazon seller, and the crazier shit is this, man. Who enforced that? Local level government had local level law enforcement enforce that shit. 'Cause you had other cities and states that said, "We're not doing that bullshit." So, that just shows you, like, most local level government is not for you because the local level government is not getting kickbacks from you, but they are getting kickbacks from big fucking business.
From
You're
somebody
not gonna
else.
come in and make their 2-lane road a 4-lane road, but Walmart's gonna come in and 4-lane and put up all those fucking stoplights and shit, and if they have stoplights and cameras, that's more revenue. You and me opening a business, we're not paying for that bullshit. Kid around my area that was, good used paper tape, markers, and spray paint. Just headed home from the range with my bride. Right on, AJ. Thanks for the question on, Patreon. We built some videos today. Took a rail car pick from Wilmer, New Mexico of a full car alien skeleton.
Iridium says he has the business account for Amazon.
You prefer it. All right, then we'll look into it. Friend of mine works at an electronics store, sold to GM. They were told where'd that go? They were told what to order and how much they would get paid. They had no choice, what to carry in their own stores. Yep. I paint the walls with the blood of my enemies. Exactly. My red city in blue, Washington passed a city council assertion that no business will be allowed to discriminate based on medical status, including back status. Um, I mean, there's some crazy shit around the back stuff if you look at all the, suddenly died shit. Still, like, every fucking I mean, there are congressional hearings about it right now. It just continues to roll out. Are you guys located in Ocean what Edward, we are not in Oceanside. We were in Oceanside for years. Um, this is the special operations equipment that was in Oceanside. We have been in Tennessee for over 18 years now. Are you currently in the Marine Corps or were in the Marine Corps in the past? Been in that store, right on. Yep, that's me. Guys on Instagram, I know there's a ton of you over here. I see it. We can't see your comments without going back, and there's a massive delay, um, minutes behind. So if you want to participate and comment, just jump over on the YouTube. Video's the exact same. We're just multi-streaming through this platform. Coming from an Amazon seller, a business account can save you a lot of money. We market and have lower prices for business accounts since they typically buy more. Got it. That's good info too. Got out in '06. Did my time in Ramadi and yeah, I know a bunch of dudes that were over in Ramadi. Right on. What are you doing now, Edward? I don't know if you knew Scully. He was around the shop that time frame. Um, he is here in Tennessee. Cheney is right up in Kentucky. There's a bunch of dudes from the reconnaissance community and the sniper community that have moved out here. So what I signed up for was the $20 business YouTube page of you guys, not the regular $5 YouTube. I didn't know we have a $20, and I didn't know we have any business page. I'm not sure what that would be on YouTube. Cameron, we'll give you value on. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure what you're seeing, man. I do a live every night at 9 o'clock. Jump on there. We can definitely talk a lot easier than right here. Oh, on Patreon. Do we have a $20 level on Patreon?
I didn't know that, but I guess we do.
I didn't know that either. That's on Patreon. Okay, well, we'll figure it out. We'll start using that.
Yeah,
We have 6 members? I didn't even know we had a $20. Sorry, guys. I didn't even know that was there. I didn't set that up, but we will make sure to do something there. On Patreon. Hostage. What's up, bud? I'm on the AJ Harrison is there too.
Clicked it, so now says you have a $5 and a $20.
We have a 5 and a 20.
Tell
Interesting.
them we'll start doing something every Friday, or at least
Yeah, well,
twice.
it's labeled as a business accelerator. Got it, man. What's up, John and Amanda? Just got done with work. Loving my job. Soldering pewter awards. Looking forward to learning more so I can use it to advance my own product. Man, we used to go. Aurora, are you not doing your stuff full time? We used to go to a place called Seaport Village. They had a whole town. They had a whole shop in that place in San Diego, and all it was pewter. You would buy little pewter figurines and Dungeons and Dragons, and guys would paint them and all kinds of shit, man. You used to see that quite a bit. You don't see that as much anymore. I see some of that shit in antique stores now, but not like we used to. Getting ready for SRF. Can't wait to meet you guys. Hostage, right on, man. Right on. It's coming up soon.
Make sure that when you introduce yourself, you tell us who you are on the internet, so that we can cross-reference that, because so many people will show up and they'll be like, "Yeah, it was so nice to talk to you," and I'm like, "I don't know who the fuck you are."
Father being arrested on school shooting. Man, I don't know how to feel about that. You and I have no idea what that situation is. We don't know if that kid just knew the combination somehow. Man, I don't know what to think about it. The other thing that nobody seems to be talking about is the picture of the kid that they're now showing. The day this happened, there was pictures going around. They found the kid's Twitter account, and he was living as a girl. He's another one of the tranny kids, or planning to be, whatever. Pronouns were she, her. And it had Kamala Harris 24, and then immediately it said kill all maggots, capital MAGTS. So kill all MAGAs. And that is the Twitter. And nobody is showing that photo. Nobody's putting up that account or that picture. They're showing just kind of the picture of the kid. There are some other pictures out there, and this is another situation like the fucking girl boy that shot up Nashville. And I think out of like 35 of the last mass shootings were that situation, I thought.
Battle Chemist, I agree with you.
What did he say?
Everybody should wear a label that says,
Yeah, you guys should
I
wear your
am.
avatar pictures too, especially if I talk to you on a regular night. There are so many dudes that come in here and I'll fucking talk to them face to face, and then a day later they're like, "Hey man, it was nice to meet you," and I had no idea that that was the same person. You'd get a very different interaction. Kiri, how are you? They're also saying that it was an AK. I haven't seen any pictures of the gun. You notice they normally always show the gun. You notice they have not shown any fucking gun this time.
Oh, come on. You know it was the Daniel.
Well, I know you, AJ. Kiri's pretty easy too. We know her. The neighbor directly across the road from me has never seen him. The neighbor directly across the road from them. So, Jake, picture. Yeah, I saw that, and then I actually saw the interview. And what she said was she had never seen him get on the bus before, and that morning he got on the bus. The gun pic I saw looked like an AR. Okay, so we saw a picture then. Okay, my avatar is of me. I heard there were 2 kids at the school, similar names. At first, they could not even get the right account at first. Well, this is I looked at the picture I have and the picture they're showing, it's the same fucking kid. It's absolutely the same kid, I'm pretty sure. I mean, it looks like the same kid. I like to stay busy. I've done a couple shows this summer. Main job pays better at the moment. Right on, man. Right on. How long does it take to get a belt orders out? Well, it just depends who you are. If we don't like you, I mean, if we know you, they go out pretty quick. Probably that's what we said. Probably a Daniel Defense Logic. I know that's not the answer you're looking for. These are not the droids you're looking for. I like to stay busy. Got it. Can't post comments just from destination. Which ones are not going? Nothing. We tried to post to, so it doesn't
No.
matter. Got to charge my Garbo phone, but they all. I'm gonna let this play. I don't know what that means. What's your guys' view on HEPA air filters for wood stove debris? I don't know. I don't have an opinion on it. Well, I mean, yeah, empty knives. The real answer is we make over 14,000 part numbers just in one style of belt with the color combos. I mean, it's like calling Toyota and going, "Hey, how long to get me a vehicle?" It depends. Very loud. Gonna be a razor. He's running back and forth from his property
I am
to the
not
gas station.
entertained.
Have you seen the Obscura camp by Cryptech? I have not. What is it? Obscura is a name of a company Mike Zone had and a shop, and he was doing the TV show Oddities. I actually bought something from Mike and talked to Mike last night, actually. Have you guys ever tried Cold Steel? No, I don't know that I've even ever owned a Cold Steel knife, man. I do not have any of them, Bubba. Somebody on here probably does. Hear the engine? Yeah, it's a razor. I was saying hi, but I'm gonna keep my phone on. Yeah, dude, there's a 20 acres of property between us, and he's got a shop over here, and then way back there, he's got a farmhouse back there. So
I stopped with the trail.
yeah, there's trails cut back there. We cut trails years ago and used to ride back in there. RMJ makes good. Yeah, I like some RMJ stuff. I like Strider. I mean, if you know us from the shop, you know Strider and I shared a shop together. We still do collaborations with them. Alaska, what's up? Messenger. AJ, we did a bunch of content on your
You
questions
better not
today.
be in your underwear again.
Oh, so it's a pat. Got it. That's a neat pattern. No, I've not seen that, man.
That looks like a combo between Tiger Stripe and Cryptech.
Kind of A-taxy. No, I've not seen it, man. They make a lot of prints that they never put on Cordura. Like we went back and forth for 2 years. They told us they have Pontus. We ordered Pontus. They said they shipped it. We never got it. Then they said, "Hey, can we ship it to you in offshore? Does it have to be berry?" I'm like, "I don't care. We're just putting it in bags. We're not doing contract with it as long as the product's good." We never got it. Like we talked to them at SHOT Show. They're like, "Hey, we're sending you out yardage." Like we went back and forth, and we never got it. And then there was a company that was printing it direct to print, but the good they're putting on is just complete shit. And the difference, like you see a lot of these camo patterns out there, and guys are like, "Where, why don't you use this?" And the difference between most of the direct to garment and the actual stuff coming from mills, you could take a pencil and just push it through the shitty material, but you couldn't fucking push a pencil through the other stuff. It's just trash. It's like white back versus, actually being the color of the print. Jackets and camo at Costco. Got it. They must be massive. They've licensed somebody to use that shit if they're out at Costco. Phone app company said another phone tracker close to the guys in Butler was also pinged close to the kid's phone. So the same phone was right around the two kids in the two states. Interesting. Just have a couple Glock field knives. I mean, as long as they work, man. Are the Striders on Blackwood Custom for? Are the Striders on Blackwood Customs the real one? Are you mean Blackside Customs? Yeah. Hank does collaborations with Strider. Yes. If you see Blackside Customs, he is like fucking heavily embedded. I've known Hank for 30 years probably. Yeah. If he had Striders, they're real Striders. Just listen to Pick video from last week discussing Get Home Back and Cuss Course. Once you finish your truck packs and Scully should do a break. Yeah, we're going to. I think we're going to actually do another series of videos just talking about the contents going into them. Build just a short video on each one for members or something. Dean, what's up, man? How are you? Message trick better not being here ever again. So you're saying they haven't even put out the first run, so we're still waiting for Ponce's pilot. Keep bonsai trees. No, I have a friend named Chris who we've known for also 30 years. That's part of the same crew. And he actually does all the bonsai trees at all the Hilton properties, like around the fucking world, apparently. He stopped doing like gun and knife type shit and does these fucking bonsai trees. And man, like that's all he does. No, I've never had a like I bought a bonsai tree at some point when I was a kid, probably, but no, I don't have any bonsai trees. I would like to walk out into my backyard, which is 400 acres, and it's all a greenhouse, under canopy, parrots flying around and koi and shit. But I won't maintain none of that. I just want to walk into the park like zoo setting. Um, Logging the Ozarks number 46. I don't know what that is. Oh, you the thumbs up. So yeah, I just want it so that I can say, yeah, it's snowing outside, and I walked out into my greenhouse and had some coffee while my parrots were flying around. I don't actually want to even look at it every day.
They have to be parrots.
I just want to be able to have it.
Can't we have like a smaller, quieter bird?
No, you have to have. I mean, there'll be flamingos there too. Have you all thought about doing anything with T-Rex arms? We met some of the guys from T-Rex. Totally up to doing something with T-Rex. I think there is a disconnect with us and T-Rex, not on our side. The middle brother came here, super cool. He was here. I walked around. We had some really good conversations for a couple hours. Asked him to be on the podcast. He said, "We'll have you on ours." And then nothing. There hasn't been anything. Completely up to it. I love the videos that they put out. I think there's a ton of good information there. I don't know why it's not showing my membership yet. Fucking Google. I don't know, man. I don't know. But we had you, right? I think we
Yes, you had him.
we shipped him something.
Yes, I shipped his shit yesterday.
Yes, just like the atriums at Opryland, but without all the shitty little kids running around. Go over there. I haven't been there for shit 10 years probably. We used to go over there and eat sushi at that Japanese place. I heard you say several times on or live at night, buy your components now. Wait and elaborate. So what we're talking about, Gavin, everybody's talking about these jungle rigs, and we were calling it, rifleman kit, but everybody keeps calling them jungle rigs, so we just went with that. We've been saying, well, forever, big rigs. There is no combat loadout of 6 mags. That's only for motherfuckers not getting shot at. And, live and die with what's on your back. So I did a padded belt, and we refreshened and put out a new canteen cover. And we just built a bigger, heavier load bearing. We do a padded suspender, a padded belt, which we have not put any of them out yet. The 1 quarts. So the loadout basically is suspenders, belt, 4 Rallyman pouches that gives you 12 mags, 2 1 quart, which will hold 2 1 quarts, or mags. I saw Sam actually had 5 mags. It'll hold that 60 round drum also from not Surefire, from Magpul, and then a butt pack, and it's got a back panel on there so you can run the hydro carry and everything with it. You can use all of that with any belt, any 2-inch duty belt, any outside the pants belt will work on that system the way it is set up. We have made every component and sold every component for 20 plus runs. There's hundreds of pieces of all of that out there now. And guys are like, when are you going to sell this as a kit? We're not going to sell it as a kit. I can't build it and wait for it all as a kit. We have built it over and over. We've literally built over 1,000 pieces of this shit now, and it ships out. So what I tell guys is, hey, we've got these magazines. We just ran them 5 times this week. Hey, we've got these suspenders. We just ran them in 5 colors this week. Hey, we've got this butt pack. We just ran them every other day for the last month. So buy the pieces when you see them. That's what we're talking about. Aluminum or polymer for 18, 15 round mags. Why would you not just run Magpols, man? You can buy a case of them and get them for $10 a piece. That's 100 mags. Why? I mean, do whatever you want to do, Sanford, but it's kind of weird that you even asked the question in this day and age. Good friend that sells fitness equipment next door to them, and he says they're kind of like a cult and really don't. Oh, we're talking about T-Rex and don't trust anyone outside of they. Well, I mean, I could understand that, Dean. When people come in here,
People think we're a cult.
I mean, people call us a cult, but I mean, when people come in here, we don't trust anybody for a long, long time. I mean, I've just had too much weird shit happen. I could completely understand that.
Long, long day.
I didn't know there's somebody selling gym equipment over there, though. Any Woodland Canteen pouch, Todd Walker? The real answer is I don't know. We're running them. I know there's a batch of them, whether there's any in there or not. But the answer is order them or you're never going to get them. And if you're waiting till we have them to order them, you're never going to get one. And they're open, so you can order them. And if you have one on order, they're batched up. Or there is always 3 or 4 batches of shit in motion that are identical to each other. Did the 12-hour overnight responder mountain patrol with just a 308 micro. It was great because the students would abandon. I heard you picked up some packs and rifles. I listened to that live the other morning while it was live. When he's like, hey, well, who's that over there? And I was very surprised to hear you were there. Very cool, man. Posting for the algorithm helped Chris Wise. Thank you, man. So Todd Walker, what's the answer? You want Woodland or you have it on the canteen pouch? And what would everybody else? Well, Iridium Group, what would you say, man? Plastic mags, polymer mags, or aluminum mags? What did you see the most out there this weekend? And if you're the metal mag guy, man, more power to you. Order, yeah, it'll be coming, Todd. How do you feel about Florida government converting public land into golf courses, pickleball instead of preserving habitat? Should public land prioritize resilience and protection over recreation? I don't give two shits about it. Is the real answer. I think that they tie up a bunch of shit as land conservancy until they want to do something with it anyways. It's never, no matter which way they go, it's not in yours and my best interest. The real answer is buy some fucking property. They don't make it anymore. And then hopefully you can keep it and they don't eminent domain you. Go someplace where nobody wants to be and build something so awesome that people show up. But what you're finding is the world is just getting smaller and smaller. Yeah, I think he is still next to them. Surplus strength. Got it. I have a friend 14 minutes up the road here who just built a 35,000 square foot building. That's 3 times the size of ours if you've never been in ours. And he does all gym equipment. Like we've shot videos. We flew drones in his video when we went to pick up the last stuff.
But water is heavy.
Polymer, and most people run out of water before running out of ammo.
It makes noise.
Cana provision. Those are like, those guys are everywhere right now. Just me mentioning them will make them pop up in your YouTube feed. I ordered some shit from them based on some Spiritus videos I had watched, and he hand wrote, and his packaging is fucking real nice. He hand wrote a note. It's like, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but you showed some stuff for me a few years ago. I'm actually going to reach out to them, or we did reach out to them about coming on, and they've got all kinds of different levels of decontamination. Would I want a gym large enough to fly a drone in the room? Yeah, no shit. But I mean, they got littler drones. Well, you know drones. You know drones better than I do. As much as I like steel mags, C products for 308 durability, the polymer P mags really help. Just the fact, like let's say the 308 P mag, right, and the other 556 P mags. The government's using them. Like they're issuing them with all the special rifle kit. They're using them across the board for infantry. I mean, that should tell you enough right there. They work. I mean, look at the last 20 years of warfare. It's all PMags. I mean, I think that if you were gonna buy a 308 gun, well, unless it's super special, but a 5.56, if it didn't take a PMag, I mean, they're even making Glock mags, right? Doesn't PMag make a Glock mag? Like, that should kinda be like, why would you even make a pistol that doesn't take that at this point? And I know there's some badass pistols out there that don't. All pals for that rig, correct. Traven, I don't know what you're asking me, buddy. All pals for what rig? The belt rig? The belt is pals. I carry a G19 PMags. Do they work, Battle Chemist? Question mark. Is there anyone you would really like to interview for pulling the thread? Yeah, most of the dudes that come to mind, like, have their own shit going on. I couldn't get them over here. I mean, I've had some amazing dudes, that we've interviewed. Yeah, there always is. Place an order, NSW admin panel and Amanda's Miracle Pine Tar salve. That stuff will always be in my house, along this when did you place that order?
This morning.
Okay. That's why it hasn't shipped yet. Because we have multicam NSW admins, right?
No.
Woodland. Um, they work great. EDC or PSA Dagger Compact, right on. You might not know this, but there's this other pistol. It's called Glock.
PSA Dagger Compact. So what is that?
It's a Glock.
Right. Which one? A 19,
48.
26, 43, 48? Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, I'm just fucking with you, Battle Chemist. You fucking, I'm sure you know way more about them than I. We give the fucking kid inside a shit all the time. I'm like, why didn't you just buy a Glock?
Cool. Cody speaks.
You can get a corrections department trade-in Glock for $250. That's going to be Gen 2 though, I think. So they don't have, you can't attach a light to them. The frame's not, the slide's not cut. The new Glocks, you can just put optics on, right? You can put a red dot on. Have you always had this much drive and work ethic, or did something happen that made it click? What would you say?
Well, for you? Oh, I think you've always had it. You definitely had it when we first met.
I would say I went to prison for 22 months. I went to federal prison and sat dormant. Even there, I didn't just sit though. Everything I did there was just fucking winding up to get home and fucking move even quicker. People are like, are you going to retire? No, I already did that shit. Like, no, I do what I want to do. Most people get up and do what they have to do. I get up and decide what I don't want to do a lot of times. And it's not really that way. I just don't do stuff. If it's not immediately fuck yeah, the answer is no. Well, I'll tell you, yeah, I'll do that for you, but it falls on me to do it for you. When I do anything special or deviation of what we do, I'm the one that has to do it. And that means that instead of me, when everybody leaves in the evening, I have to do something that takes away from what I normally do, or on the weekend, right? So the answer 99% of the time is, man, I'm going to pass on that. No, thank you. I'll get people that'll send me an email for some gear or something, and I'll print it out and it'll sit in the tray. And eventually I will task somebody or I will build it and then send them an invoice for it or whatever. But if they're like, hey, what about that thing? My immediate answer is, man, I'm just going to, yeah, you're right, man. Just the fact that I didn't get back to you the first time and I intended to, I'm going to go ahead and pass on this. Got old aluminum Colt mags, so curious about the opinions. Dude, if they work, right? Remember when the mags used to have the 2 legs instead of the 4 when they changed to the green followers, and that was the big thing. You had to have the green follower mags. Just take them out and shoot them, man. If they work, keep them. It's a life. That's a good way to put it. It's a good way to put it. It's a lifestyle.
For some of us, it's just who we are.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand dudes that say they wanna do things, and then when you get around them, they don't do things. And I guess people probably think that about me, right? They come out and they see me once, and they're like, "Man, he's not doing any of that shit." Well, I mean, I can't do anything when people are here. Like, people being around actually hinders me. Like, what I do much more on my own. Like, when everybody leaves, I get way more shit done when everybody's gone. Gotta climb up the spruce tree and make it disappear, have a oh, you're topping it from the top? Man, some of those videos where guys have their fucking harness on the wrong side when that tree fucking jerks their ass down is fucking crazy. Amanda, how do you make laundry soap, or what can you suggest as a chemical dye-free alternative?
So I have made laundry soap in the past with washing soap and borax and all that stuff, but at this point in time, I prefer to give my money to Nomadic Soap Company. Lance and his son make a really good laundry detergent that is liquid. It works well in my high efficiency front loading washing machine. It smells really good. It lasts a long time,
Smells really good.
and I don't have to make it. That's the other thing. So, and it works good whether you're using cold water or hot water.
Doesn't destroy the septic.
It doesn't destroy your septic tank. It doesn't leave a weird film on your clothes. It doesn't turn your white yellow. Um, I like the birch and black pepper one. I highly recommend going to nomadic.soapcompany.com and buying detergent.
And we don't dry most of our clothes either. We don't like myself, wear get dried. All of my shirts, they all get hung dry. They go onto a rack. Um, they sit in front of a fan, and that will make your shirts last 10 times longer. I found homemade soap using I found homemade soap using a bar soap produces a lot of scum.
Yes, exactly.
I had to repair my parents' plumbing. Oh, interesting. Yeah, we were doing that for a while. It's just it's kind of that poverty mindset thing. Like, you're gonna sit here and make all this soap because you don't wanna buy soap. That's motherfuckers that don't work. If the real answer is you don't make enough money unless I mean, some people will have some other reason, like, I want just naphtha soap and I want these, seemingly healthier ingredients I wanna be able to pronounce and know where all these things come from. But most people doing that shit, they just don't wanna go to work, and so they convince themselves it's like there's 2 kinds of homesteaders. You have homesteaders, that live in poverty, and you look at their place, and it's just completely disheveled and looks like shit, but they just drag up every scrap because they might use it in the future. I'm guilty of some of that myself. And then you have homesteaders that just have such successful businesses that they can have people come in and build this beautiful fucking place that you don't ever mind living, but if you have to live there when things go bad, it's fully functional. Naphtha. Yep, that was the stuff we were doing.
Well, in the whole like I belong to a homestead mom group on Facebook, and every day there's some woman up there, "I wanna be a stay-at-home mom and homestead and give me money saving tips." And my reply is
Get a job,
always,
bitch.
just fucking sell something, like, create something. You're going to be sitting at home all day with your kids anyway, like, you can only clean the house so many times, right? And even if you're cooking from scratch and doing all the things, there's still gonna be hours of the day that you're literally idle. So, create something and sell it. Sell it on Amazon, Etsy, you can sell it on Poshmark, you can go to farmers markets, like, there's literally no reason for you to do without something in order to make your bills work when you can literally create something and just make more money.
Yeah, the high efficiency washers. You should also plan to replace those every 2 years. I swear, if you have a fucking warranty, that motherfucker is gonna break. We had a refrigerator go out a day after. We went through like 6 Samsung refrigerators
Yeah,
and,
water heater.
yeah, several water heaters. We just have to replace elements in the water heater, not again, and we've got a big, 100-gallon water heater, and you buy these dual replacements and you see the same thing on Amazon, then you get it and it's half the fucking size.
Which
Um,
means it doesn't need all the water.
there are some Instagram channels of guys that take old appliances from the 50s and 60s and refresh them. And it's a trip to look at 1950s appliances. The features in there are so much better than the shit. Yeah, everything Samsung other than the TVs. is garbage. And anything Samsung, anything says smart device, they're listening to every fucking thing you do. They tie right into your network. Only two ways to increase the amount of money you have: make more or spend less. Yeah. And spend less isn't really the answer.
I mean, it depends, right? Obviously, if you're going to Starbucks twice a day, every day, you could cut that out and have more money in your pocket at the end of the month. But if you're already only cooking at home, you never eat out, you don't go anywhere, you buy all the stuff in bulk, you're already turning all the if you're already scrimping and saving, more scrimping and saving is not the answer. You need to do something else and make more money.
Yeah, the stuff from the 50s is fucking incredible, Stanford. It's got real glass in it, all the pivots. I mean, it's just incredible. And that stuff's still functioning. Brandon and I saw an old Icebox. I should have bought that thing when we went to pick some other stuff up. Hey, Brandon, what would you say? Somebody said, Ken said, people make stupid money selling Pokemon cards. Come over here and tell them about the Pokemon guy we know. Listen to this shit.
You awake?
Yeah, he's awake. Your boy that has the building buys all the Pokemon cards and fucking breaks them apart and then just sells.
Yeah. So he takes them, buys them in boxes.
He has a whole building to do
this. Entire building to do this, and he's got 3 employees. It takes full time for him. He buys just palletfuls of these things and goes through and he finds one card out of like 20 boxes of these things, and then that one card is all he sells.
And they throw the rest of them away.
And the rest of them are piled up in the warehouse. But I mean, there's so many of them you can't categorize them, you can't keep track of anything. It's just, and at some point you're just gonna have more money in getting rid of all this crap than it is even worth it. I don't see it being profitable.
We don't know how the building burnt down. It just burnt down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Spent about $250 on the Canadian. What's that Canadian water used to come in the blue
Clearly
bottle?
Canadian.
Clearly
Yeah.
Canadian.
Yeah.
Magic the Gathering. Yep, Magic.
Yeah, he's selling a lot of Magic. That's his biggest money.
25-year-old Whirlpool. Yeah, man. I look at all and all those old appliances too. They were like porcelain. Old stand-up electric wash machines and stuff. That shit most of it still runs. Like if it's been kept under, at least it's not on the front porch, but under a cover, under an awning, most of that stuff's still functional. Speed clean washers. Same styling as the Bel Air. Yeah, neat. During trash day, we have a few guys that drive trucks around to pick up old tables, chairs. Yeah, there's whole YouTube channels where people go pick up trash and then repurpose it, just like that shabby chic bullshit, that crackle paint stuff he was talking about last night.
Crackle paint.
Could you imagine if they started making stuff to that? Well, it's planned obsolescence. I mean, you and I, we both know that when they come out with this great device, look at, dude, there's light bulbs out there over 100 years old right now that still work. They changed that design. It used to be that a light bulb lasted. There's still a light bulb that's burned over 100 years right now. I got out of playing Magic the Gathering when I had 3,000 worth of cards stolen. Now he builds $3,000 rifles.
I like rifles. Not so much on cards.
I'm gonna start collecting drums.
Like ammo drums? Like
drum magazines? Drum kits.
I'm down for some drum magazines.
I'm gonna get Travis Barker to come over and play my drums. Have you talked to PP1? Recent batch of blue buckets. Man, Lance was really good on that shit. I just made the video. I never knew he was making the rebuttal videos. Sounds about the same time Homesteading Easy. It was the same time Odyssey that came out. Yeah, Firehouse, New York City. Yeah, there's one still burning in California somewhere also. And then the first light bulb in Tennessee, I think, at who bought the fucking place out there halfway in Nashville where we used to stop? Loretta Lynn's.
That's totally awesome.
How long did it take me to master my craft? I mean, I'm sure there's people out there better than me. There's always improvement. I will watch every now and then. Just YouTube will recommend some video, or my video will roll into some dude sitting there sewing something, and if I listen to it, there's I mean, there's many times when I've watched a 15, 20-year-old kid sewing something, and I'll be like, "Holy shit, man, we could cut half the time off of this process by doing that." I just never thought about it. I mean, for the first 5 years, we burned all of our webbing with lighter. I don't know why I never thought to use a fucking propane torch. And then you're like, you can get this spring-loaded heat element cutter where it cuts and sears at the same time. Those were 750, and then they have a digital cutter you program in, and you buy the $3,000 one, it goes and you just program in the length and the amount, but then it separates fast, so only one side is burned. I'm like, "Why the fuck would I want this?" I call them like, "It's only burning one." They're like, "Oh, you need the $7,000 one." So we get the $7,000 one, and it doesn't burn either side, and you gotta have your friend fabricate a clamp with a spring so that holds it so that it doesn't drop us. There's always some bullshit. No matter what you have, there's always a next level to it, and nobody's gonna tell you, "Hey, you need this other size, and what you're about to buy isn't gonna fucking work." They don't tell you that shit. But there's always somebody better, man. Um, and and are you the master of your craft if you're not aware of what the craft is doing outside of your shop, you know? What's the one thing you can think most preppers are constantly overlook? Water. They don't wanna do the fun things, man. How many guys have guns and shit? But, physical fitness is really probably, if we're honest about it, it's probably the biggest of them. How many dudes have all this shit sitting in packages from Amazon and stuff because you get that instant gratification and you can do it from bed while you're eating a bunch of Cheetos and shit. But motherfuckers can't put shit on. And if they actually had to, everybody's building these bug out bags because I'm gonna bug out and power goes out. I'm gonna, get home 100 miles from here. Most of these motherfuckers can't walk a mile. Like that's the truth of it. They just can't. They will die. And fitness is free. You just have to start doing it. Old school appliances were built to last. Now they're just built to last one day after. That's for real, man. That is very, very real. Kyle, what do you think the answer to that question is? I know when I say that, that's never what people want to hear. I saw a guy at a store buying a whole cart of mangoes. he, he makes flour out of them and season them with cinnamon and other flavor. Interesting. Interesting.
It's like the cup of fruit that we would get down by the border.
Do I think a civil war will turn racial after a while? When no, I don't think it has anything to do with race. People typically revert back into their own races uh, because you want to be with people that are like you. But if you look at Self Reliance Festival, there's plenty of black folks and people who are OTW other than white, and gay couples and people that just aren't in your lifestyle, but you're all here for a reason. So no, I think most of the racial divide is caused by the government. Now, with that said, if we look at gun violence and you removed black on black crime, your gun violence goes down, it almost goes away. Same thing could be said for pedophiles. Most pedophiles, when they arrest them, they're always white dudes, right? So you can add that racial perspective into it, but do I think it's a problem? No, I don't think so. You just have those guys in pockets because people flock to people like themselves for the most part, or look like themselves. You see the same thing in the animal world. Has Amanda tried American salve using emu oil?
No,
Arnica.
I don't know where I would even get emu oil from.
I was thinking water and that they can do it lone wolf and not have a community. Um, well, everybody thinks that, but I mean, dude, do you hear that?
Yeah.
What the fuck is causing it?
Your phone.
It's not my phone doing it.
It literally just stopped when you moved your phone.
The phone's been sitting there the whole time.
I know.
Good, Billy, what up? I would have originally said people underestimate how much food, water they need. Yeah, I agree with John. The physical fitness thing's a huge thing because we don't really want to put forth physical exertion, and you just have this endorphin release from purchasing things off. All the racial divide. I think every bit of it. I think comes from the government. I mean, look who fucking. It's always the government, and the ones screaming racism are usually the biggest racists. Makes sense because others being beings that look like you will be more likely to have the same needs and goals. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, go into a a town. We've brought all the Iraqis and Middle Easterns here, right? Go into a town there. You're not familiar with the food. You don't dress the same way they do. I mean, it's that's just how it is, man. 75 hard is the best thing I've ever done in years, and I have been working out 18 months straight. Nice. Yep. Mental clarity. Lots of people think they can store and learn to garden later. Yeah, and a lot of people who have a ton of shit stored, what happens when your shit burns down? Like, what's your plan then? What happens if a fucking meteor hits your place or a tree crushes your building? And all you guys prepping up stuff that might be questionable, right? That's never a problem until the tornado hits your shit and they open up your gun safe that's fucking 2 miles down the road, or your house burns down while you're not there and law enforcement comes in there and starts looking around and your area is condemned and you're not allowed to go in. But the investigators, like, you need to have a plan for everything. It's never a problem until it's a fucking problem. What do you think about storing up gallons of spring water from the grocery store? Easy way for people to get into prepping.
So the only issue is that the containers will eventually give out, and then you have gallons of water all over the floor. Ask me how I know.
Depending on the container, you can get LCI cans.
He's talking about
I understand.
the jugs from the grocery store.
Let me
the
tell you
1 gallon
this.
jugs. They only
I understand. The shitty ones, the
yes.
opaque ones, the milk carton type ones. Yes, they dissolve. Um, you can put water in anything. Do we care what the water came out of when the time comes to use it when nobody else has water? And water, for the most part, is free when it runs out of your faucet. So I would do that rather than spring water. I don't know why we would buy water from the that's the craziest shit in the world. Um, because you're not consuming it, right? So get you a filter, Berkey like, something like that, and plan to filter the water when the time comes to use the water. But you can buy all kinds of containers. You can find all your fat friends that drink. Like, the best thing in the world for you is a fat friend that buys 2-liter bottles of soda. You can see them at Walmart every time you're there, because that acidic shit doesn't eat through those plastic containers. Those plastic containers, you could literally store them on their side 10 high between, like, you rack firewood up and just fill those things with water, any kind of container. Arizona iced tea is the best, and fill them with water. Now, when you go to buy containers to store liquids, the larger the container is, the less you pay per volume, meaning the footprint of a 1,000-gallon water tank is 8 to 10 feet across. And when you go vertical, it goes up and you pay less per gallon. So 55-gallon drums are okay. You can get 15-gallon syrup drums. Those are very strong. You can get the pickle barrels. You can get the olive barrels, the brown ones. You can typically get those from some sub stores. Just find somebody. They typically give them away, and then the person getting them for free sells them to you on Marketplace. So just try to find that person. There's like we were talking earlier about something too. Um, a lot of, like, oh, the mushroom guy was like, I have to compete against all these guys. Like, I know a place that gives you all, like, every week they give you all this cabbage and all these things for your animals, and they always have people wanting all this stuff, but then the people stop coming to pick it up every week, so they give it to the next guy, and it always becomes cumbersome to take these free products. So that's the same thing with them water containers, and just find the place. I like to say that Murphy's Law dictates you get the emergency you didn't prepare for. The outside of that is the thing you have prepared for the most. You probably, yeah, absolutely, man. I've heard you say that a lot. Bought a 6-pack of Smart Water because the bottles work well with the Sawyer mini filter. Yes, and for you guys that don't know, there are guys 3D printing for the bottles to the different mini filters for like $3. You can buy an adapter that fits all that shit all together. Um, we just bought some more Sawyer filters. I've got all the minis. I've got all that shit. I have a bunch of 2-liter bottles full of toilet flushing. Yep. And I like the 7-gallon Reliance water cubes the most. They're under $20. You can buy them at Walmart. They charge $10 more at other places for them. You can stack them 2 high. Do not stack them 3 high. You cannot carry them around in your truck where they're going to slide around because the corners are weak. But when I say we have 100 of those, we have 100 of those fucking things full of water all the time. I like the military ones. I can drive over the 5-gallon military cans with my F-250. We've actually done, but they're not as convenient as the Reliance.
Look who's messaging me on Instagram.
I can't see who it is.
It says the real Donald Trump.
Oh, got it. But the water, man, like you're going to pay a lot more to store 1,000 gallons of water in 5-gallon containers than you are to store 1,000 gallons of water in a 1,000-gallon container. And for you guys looking to store water, IBC totes are great. We need to know kind of what was in them. At what point do we really fucking care what was in them for the emergency in the future, right? There's a ton of shit we know that is toxic for us. But when we have that emergency in the future, if it's a long-term emergency, you're going to probably die before that shit catches up to you anyways, a lot of times. But the filter, learn what a sand, charcoal, gravel filter is, how to produce that. You know, there's a lot of shit we can do. And then the water thing, like you'll hear guys all the time, I'm not allowed to store water. You have downspouts on your fucking house, route one through the wall, into the tank, route out of the tank, have that piece still seamlessly there. It's allowed versus able. And then keep your fucking mouth shut. Can you imagine somebody's house getting burglarized while they're out of town? The cops come in, start looking around, and then they
get arrested.
You're arrested for storing too much water. Yeah, kids' shoes. I said that the other day. Somebody asked me about something prep, and you might want to prep with that once you already have, the next 6-year sizes of your kids' shoes and clothing. Derek Olson, what's up, man? Food, water, medicine. Yeah, medicine's a big one, but there's a ton of shit out there that grows that we hack down as weeds that actually works just as well as medications. I believe that there's a lot of medications that we take for things that actually do more harm to us and cause us to have to take more medications when there's actually things in the fucking backyard of a lot of places that actually remove the problem. Does a pond work for water storage? I have a pond for water storage. I have a 65-foot deep. We've trenched in all of the downspouts from the roof, 10,000 square feet of water out there. The math said we have 3 million gallons of water there. Could I drink it right now? No, I'd be fucking shitting my brains out in a few hours. Could I pull it out of there, filter it? Could I pull it out of there and boil it? Absolutely, I could. Yeah. But I would still, in addition to the pond, I would still have some water immediately in containers, right? I don't know where you live, but my pond freezes out here. I have a bunch of IBC totes and 55-gallon drums full of water. My kids can't move a 55-gallon drum. They could push the 15 gallons, they're actually 13, sideways and roll them, but they can definitely carry the 7-gallon. And the 7-gallon ones come with a spout. You can put it on the sink, wash your hands. You can use it to flush toilets. John, have you seen the Black Survivor watch from Audemars? I have not, man. I have not. I made the mistake last night of looking at Panerai website. I saw Black Scout have Panerai. I'm like, is that a Panerai? He's like, yeah, I saw it a couple years ago. And then I went to Panerai's website and they got a fucking really nice new one out. I'm not buying watches. How many people do you know that preps have containers full of socks and underwear? We do. I had a kid working for me. His plan was to just buy 365 pairs of socks and wear them and put them in put them in a bucket dirty. That way he only launders them. And he figures if he has 365 socks and underwear, that will last him for the rest of his life. His math actually seemed to make sense when he. How many people do you know? If your downspouts have an open tapped 55-gallon barrel, they can claim you're storing it.
Can't
claim you're storing it as it will overflow to the water table, but you have 55-gallon. Yep. Grandma used to do that all the time, man. All of the water she watered the garden with. Yep. And if you're running a downspout into a container, have multiple containers that fill that one, fill that one, fill that one, and have the last one run. But they'll still jam you up in some places over that. And even when they say you're not allowed to store water in Colorado, I think you're allowed to hold 65 gallons. Like bullshit. How many people do you know? Okay, we've read all these. All right, guys, these look like they're slowing down, coming to an end here.
And it's 2:00.
Oh shit! It is 2
See
o'clock.
it? Is it right
Yeah,
here?
I asked this on Patreon, but it was one y'all missed. What do you think about vacuum sealing rice and beans in portions labeled dates? Those walled totes with the clasp on the end. So you definitely need to put whatever you're doing into those because if you don't have mice,
You will.
eventually you will. And when you check every month, one day you'll look and there'll be a ton of fucking mice. The mice typically will not chew through the totes. We vacuum sealed all that shit. It gets to a point where you are spending a lot of money and time vacuum sealing stuff, and you don't need to vacuum seal rice and beans. You just don't. Put them inside buckets. Um, I have rice that's been in buckets 20 years right now. We open it up, it's oxidized just a little bit, and I mean just in buckets with no sealing.
Yeah.
We also have fucking tons of it that is vacuum sealed. I'm to the point where I'm not vacuum sealing any rice or beans anymore.
So the issue with that is that when it comes time for you to use that, you are not going to cook one portion of rice and beans because both of those things require a ton of water and a ton of heat to cook. Like you can't just eat beans that you soak for an hour and then just eat them, right? Like it'll totally make you sick. Ask me how I know. We did that. Learning moment. Uh, you're going to cook a pot of rice and a pot of beans together. So individual portions is going to be a waste of your time and your packaging.
Weevils wasted a bunch of bins. So they're in there when it started. They didn't just get there when you put them in 5-gallon buckets or whatever. You can freeze them if you want to. You can put dry ice, which will produce what's that produce, battle chemist? Nitrogen? Is that what kills all that? It basically displaces the oxygen. You could use a nitrogen purge. There's all kinds of shit you can use. The reason we vacuum seal bulk rice and beans or whatever is because we're taking that, putting it in a Mylar bag, we're putting O2 absorbers. And don't think you're putting little O2 absorbers, right? You need to put about 3,500 cc's, big 3 or 2,000 cc O2 absorbers in there. And then we're sealing that bag and it sucks all the oxygen out, which kills the bugs. So we do a lot of things and we don't know why we do the things. 55 gallons are good for ammo storage. 55, yeah, I mean, that's a lot of ammo. Absolutely, man. I think you should all be buying 5.56 55-gallon drums. You can put cans of, you can put 3 55-gallon cans, drums on a pallet also. So I think that's exactly how you should be buying. And you can. If you don't know, look that up. You're going to be surprised what that costs. You do save a little bit of money, but it's very high cost outlay. I know that's not what you're asking. And you can start rice and beans in 55-gallon drums too. Join the SOE chat every night, 9 p.m. Yeah, join the SOE chat. We do this every night, guys, and we can have all these conversations. We're about to jump off of here. Whose comment do you like for a winner?
I don't
Who is first of all, to win, you have to be on our Patreon. So I was gonna say, where did Cycle Prep? I don't recognize your name, but are you on our Patreon by any chance, Cycle Prep? You can create CO2 by mixing vinegar and baking soda. Can use the gas that comes off if you need to purge with CO2. Good info.
Interesting.
How about nitrogen? Can we use like paintball tank? What's that? Carbon dioxide? We can use that also. It kills mice, right? That should fill the bucket up. Also, when you nitrogen purge buckets, the nitrogen sits in that bucket because it's heavier, right? It stays there forever until you dump the bucket over.
He said he is not.
Oh shit. Okay. Let's pick someone else. I'm gonna do that. There's a bunch of great comments. I'm just not gonna do that. See how this pauses and won't let me go through everyone?
There you go.
It finally
It like
jumps.
gets
Yeah.
stuck.
Man, it's cumbersome. Joining the Patreon, being a member is well worth it. Will you make BDUs? Clothing? No, man. I don't know the first thing about selling clothing.
We can't make enough of the gear we already made.
Yeah, I saw somebody else asked another question, and that was, I don't remember what the question was, but the answer is that we can't sell enough of what we already sell as it is. Nitrogen works, but doesn't stay very long in a bucket. You want argon for that. They use it in wines for when they open the bottle and don't want to oxidize purge. Interesting. Team crunchy versus creamy. First of all, nobody likes peanut butter.
Crunchy.
Peanut butter is for lonely women with big dogs. If I had to eat peanut butter, I'm only eating it because it makes it okay to eat preserves. And everybody knows that crunchy is better. Dude, I'm pumped to see y'all next, right? Me too, Hood Billy. It'll be good to see you. Man, this is so much work to fucking do this. Did you just call me alone? Do you like fucking peanut butter? You don't look like you eat peanut butter, you skinny motherfucker.
Team maple syrup.
Look like you need some fucking anabolic steroids. I know that guy. I can say that to him. You can't, but I can say that to him. Only we can say that about each other. I have a shit ton of argon, TIG welder fabricator. I know it's a heavy gas. Is it clean though? Will it fucking damage food? Would you put it on rice and then eat the rice?
Is it gonna poison you?
You have a European seller. No, we don't have any dealers, man. We do everything direct to consumer. We used to have 63 US dealers, 52 international dealers. We turned off that whole program. Is there really a maple syrup tap? Yeah, in Canada there is. Absolutely. You look up the Great Maple Syrup Heist. It's a real thing. I'm too active. Show me another butter that's not smooth, and that's why chunky is wrong. I mean, all you guys getting all your fucking welfare peanut butter. I don't know what to tell you. You know what you don't get on welfare? Fucking ribeyes. Amanda, have you looked into Soap Makers Guild insurance? Nope.
I don't make enough soap for that.
I have no idea, bro. I know if you breathe a bunch of it, you'll suffocate. But yeah, you're going to die before the brain damage sets in. I don't know either. A buddy of mine just gave me a jar of honey from his new hobby, World Different. Oh yeah, huge difference, man. And even where the honey comes from, 5 miles apart will taste completely different. Apple butter. You're a liar. Buddy of mine just gave me the honey guy. What about the jelly, grape, or strawberry? Neither. Nope. I'm not. I don't want juice with sugar, man. I want fucking fruit, preserves, like chunky, huge pieces of fruit.
He really likes cherry, by the way.
And it only comes in a small jar. I'd like to get one of those duty belts mountable butt packs, but I'm curious what's 3 smaller items of the top of your head for carrying kit that's kind of well stocked, slow moving. I have no idea. Dude, nothing we make is slow moving. You mean what can you order right now that's going to ship out? No idea, man. I need Dixon Donuts to make a peanut butter donut. No, you don't. That's just the fact that they don't make it tells you fucking everything you need to know. I went to Montreal and hardly anyone knew about the heist. But you got look it up, man. Look it up. What have y'all grown over there?
Basil. Basil has
Mint.
been fucking insanely
You can't get rid of it.
well growing.
So do you guys know the sunflower theory? You know that people are saying that
fake sun.
A fake sun. They put something up to block the sun, and what you're seeing is something that's actually blocking the sun. If you watch the sunflower seeds, they're not tracking the sun, which mine were definitely not tracking the sun this year. They're saying that tomato harvest, tomatoes aren't growing for shit. They said eggplant's not growing. And I've seen a lot of unrelated people say this. And remember during the eclipse when NASA launched those rockets, I think it has something to do with that. They're saying they put up something that blocked the sun.
Which would make sense during an eclipse.
I don't know if you guys have seen this, but you will see it now that I've said something. The algorithm will change. You're about to see it. Huckleberry. I've never had huckleberry. In Michigan, many of us put crunchy on pancakes with syrup.
Absolutely. I made apple walnut pancakes this weekend with protein, and then I took some almond butter because peanuts fucking inflame me, but crunchy almond butter and melted that over the top of that. It was amazing.
Basil is in abundance here. Yeah. There's a patent for the giant lamp that mimics the moon, or so I. Yeah, man, dude, like this keeps coming up. Like there's big, huge, pretty reputable dudes talking about that shit. Preserves
Factions.
I see it, Amanda. Preserve factions with team of peanut butter at the refuge. What do you think they're covering the sun? Oh, I don't have a fucking clue, Derek. I expected you would tell me. You actually you have more knowledge on the conspiracy theories than I do. Do you do it? You should. Do you have a YouTube channel, Derek? I noticed TGAT. I noticed that this year sunflowers facing. Yeah, dude, I've never seen it before. And somebody said it, and I walked out, and sure as shit, it's exactly what was. Our sunflowers were facing all kinds of different directions, but they used to because I saw time lapse photos of them doing it. I really noticed it a few years ago because we plant fucking thousands of acres of sunflower up in the wildlife area, and I had driven through there that morning, and they were facing one direction, and then they were facing. And when we edited the video, I noticed them doing it. Can't eat enough wild blackberries. Our wild blackberries are not good. You need for every pound, you need 2 pounds of sugar. Fig harvest. No, our figs were very late. They're starting to come on right now, James. We'll be harvesting them probably up to October, but the weather's doing weird shit.
Yep.
And we're just like, we don't have any rain going and it's cooling down. So we'll see. By pain in the ass, I mean harder or time consuming to make. Like if there was a few wolf gray pistol mag pouches with pink thread. Oh, I don't know what you're asking me, man. Everything we have sells. Order what you want. If you're worried about time, put in notes, hey, I'll take any other color, or list the other colors, and that stuff will typically ship out. If we're really worried about time, go, hey, I'll take this, whether you have the free item that I just used the code for, and your shit will ship out. Order smaller orders, multiple orders. Those orders will typically go out quicker too, or at least the item that's missing won't hold all the other stuff. Dwarf sunflowers tracked this year, to my knowledge. They stopped tracking the sun and stay facing the east to put energy into seed. Oh, interesting. Interesting, Tim. I only put in black oil this year. That's all we had. Climate change. Yeah, right. It's all by design. Yeah, yeah. Listen, I was listening to the dude on Bet David this morning. I can't remember his name. Very, very big name. And he said the whole climate change thing, when they put the weather stations and thermometers in, we typically put all of those and started tracking them in the 50s at airports. And in the 50s, we built airports out of the city, and then the cityscape crawled in and encroached and raised all the temperatures where we still have those weather stations, and that's what they're basing it off of. And they said, well, why would they do that? And he said, it's by control. He said, weather, global warming is all about controlling people. Randall Carlson, that's him. Great interview, guys. He's on Valuetainment yesterday, I think. Well worth listening to. Gotcha. I'm just too worried about annoying you, and I'm realizing I'm doing that. No, I just don't understand what you're asking, man. I don't.
He's reading too many comments in between. He's not getting the full story all on once.
Yeah, I mean, the real answer is if you want to order our shit, be on our text. I do a live every night on YouTube where I show you guys what we're making, and our text, we send you a text showing you what we got.
I send you a text, and I'm going to send you one every night.
All right, guys, we're getting off of here. I'm going to eat. Yes. Yep, Randall Carlson. All right, guys, we'll see you tonight.